welcome. Before we dive into today's exploration of Stoic philosophy, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your support helps us continue bringing Stoic content that enriches your life. In today's reflection, we'll look at some core Stoic principles that can help us navigate modern life with wisdom, balance, and clarity. Let's begin. Have you ever found yourself consumed by insignificant problems, small frustrations that seem to grow bigger the more you focus on them? Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, gives us a clear directive: don't give things more attention than they deserve. In other words, worrying about small, trivial matters takes time away from what truly matters in life. Consider how many moments of our lives we waste on things we can't control, like traffic jams, minor disagreements, or even social media conflicts. These things, in the grand scheme, have little to no impact on our long-term happiness. Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus to what's within our control and, more importantly, to what's significant to our personal growth and well-being. It's essential to ask ourselves, is this worth my energy? By constantly reevaluating how we spend our time and attention, we can prevent small issues from snowballing into larger sources of stress. This mental clarity frees up our emotional and cognitive resources to tackle what truly matters, such as our relationships, personal goals, and inner development. In doing so, we build resilience to life's inevitable challenges. The Stoics remind us that peace comes not from the absence of difficulties, but from our ability to remain unaffected by those that don't deserve our attention. In this way, Stoicism teaches us to rise above the small things and focus on what leads to true fulfillment. Next, let's talk about self-interest, but in a way that's often misunderstood. Stoics like Seneca didn't just preach abstinence from certain pleasures out of moral obligation. They emphasized that self-restraint was in your own best interest. Seneca said, "Pleasures, when taken beyond measure, become punishments." We often chase after temporary pleasures, believing they will bring us lasting happiness. Whether it's indulging in excess food, chasing material wealth, or seeking validation from others, these pursuits often leave us empty and wanting more. Overindulgence might feel good in the moment, but Stoicism asks us to consider, how do we feel afterward? Often, what starts as a pleasure can transform into suffering when it becomes a compulsion or addiction. Stoicism encourages us to think long-term. It teaches us that moderation and self-discipline lead to greater contentment and peace. When we control our desires instead of letting them control us, we protect ourselves from the cycles of dissatisfaction that arise when pleasure turns into punishment. Furthermore, the Stoic approach to persuasion and self-improvement is rooted in self-interest. Instead of lecturing others or ourselves about right and wrong, Stoicism reminds us to think, what is truly in my best interest? By showing that certain actions will ultimately make us happier and more fulfilled, we are more likely to change our behavior and live in harmony with our values. So, the next time you're tempted by a fleeting pleasure, ask yourself, is this action in line with my deeper goals? Is it in my best interest for my long-term happiness and well-being? Through this practice, we develop the self-discipline necessary to live a fulfilling life. One of the most fascinating aspects of Stoicism is its openness to wisdom from all sources. Seneca, for instance, had no issue quoting the Epicureans, despite their philosophy being traditionally seen as opposed to Stoicism. As he wrote, I will never hesitate to cite a bad writer if the line is good. This mindset highlights a crucial Stoic principle. What matters is not where the wisdom comes from, but whether it is useful and true. Stoicism encourages us to be pragmatic in our pursuit of knowledge. Wisdom is universal, and valuable insights can be found in many different places. This is especially relevant today, in a world filled with countless sources of information. Rather than limiting ourselves to one philosophy or one way of thinking, we should seek out what helps us become better people, whether it comes from Stoicism, Buddhism, modern psychology, or even from someone we might not always agree with. In a practical sense, this means keeping an open mind in our daily lives. Wisdom is often found in unexpected places, and by being receptive to different perspectives, we can learn more and grow faster. Perhaps the next big insight that changes your life will come from a book you hadn't considered reading or from a conversation with someone whose views are very different from your own. To live a truly Stoic life, we must not be rigid or dogmatic. We must embrace learning in all its forms, taking what is useful and leaving behind what doesn't serve us. This is the path to personal growth and wisdom. Respect for tradition is an important Stoic value. The wisdom of those who came before us, the lessons passed down through history, provide us with a strong foundation for navigating life. But Stoicism also teaches us not to be trapped by the past. As Seneca said, those who came before us are not our masters, but our guides. The Stoics believed in learning from the past, but they also embraced the importance of being open to the future. Just because something has been done a certain way for centuries doesn't mean it's the best way moving forward. Life is constantly evolving, and so must our understanding. Innovation and progress are not enemies of tradition, they are necessary for growth. This principle can be applied in our everyday lives. While it's crucial to respect the wisdom of our parents, teachers, and predecessors, we must also be willing to forge new paths. The discoveries of modern science and psychology, for instance, may provide insights that enhance ancient wisdom. By remaining open to new ideas, we continue the Stoic tradition of seeking truth, wherever it may be found. If you found this exploration of Stoic wisdom valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might benefit. Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next video.